Hi friends, today we are going to learn about difference between late and early binding in C Sharp. In C Sharp, late binding and early binding refers to the time at which method or property calls are resolved, either at compile time or runtime. Early binding is a compile time binding. The definition: early binding occurs when the method or property is resolved at compile time. The compiler knows exactly which method or property to invoke and can check types and resolves calls before the program is executed. How it works: the compiler ensures that the correct method is called and checks for type safety, so the code is faster and more efficient. Now we will see that in example. Here we have a two classes, one is example, another one is program. In class example, I have a method name called print message. It executes hello world. Now in the main method, I have created a object for example, which is a this class, and it has a print message na in ex dot print message. Now I have given a reference type, which is an example of class, and see it shows that it's a compile time binding. This is called early binding, resolved at compile time. Now I have another method called, now we'll see that late binding in called a runtime binding. Definition: late binding happens when the method or property is resolved at runtime, not at compile time. This typically involves using reflection dynamic types. How it works: the method or property is determined during programming execution, which allows for more flexibility but comes at cost of performance and type safety. Now we will see that in code. See, here I have a class name called as example1, and another program we have another class, we have a program 9. In the example1 class, I have a method called print message, which executes hello world. In the main method, I have created a example object, but I have given a reference type is dynamic. In compile time, it does not shows any error. At runtime, it takes huge memory to run this one. In when obj dot print message late, this is called late binding, resolved at runtime. So only the difference is when we give type safety, that reference type in a proper way, the early binding will works very fast. When we give like dynamic, like this is a object, dynamic it's a object, at runtime it works, but it performance is very slow. Now we will see the key differences in early binding and late binding. Time of binding, it's a compile time binding and it's a runtime binding. Performance faster, optimized by compiler. This performs very slow. Type safety, checked at compile time, checked at runtime. Flexibility, less flexible, requires knowing types at compile time. More flexible, can deal with unknown types at runtime. Example: static methods calls, invocations on known types. Dynamic keyword reflection. So friends, this is the difference between early binding and late binding. Thank you.